Hello, this is a video about arcade sticks and controllers for the PC. Now that the PC is getting some fighting games. Sorry if I'm a little off sync. My camera's being really weird today. So yeah, information. Okay, PlayStation 3 arcade sticks, such as this one, will not work on a PC that has a non-Intel chipset. And if you don't know how to check if you've got an Intel chipset, it's safe to just assume it won't work. Another rule with these sticks: if you have a USB 3.0, it will work. I see a lot of people that don't know about these sticks that spread false information. It's not your fault. I was one of those people, but you're spreading false information now, and you need to stop. That's the old way. That's 2009. In 2013, 3.0 USB will work and run these. A PC, my new PC, is an AMD through and through. Did not work. Tried it on 3.0, worked. So that's a thing now. If you have a 3.0 USB, you can tell these apart by the fact they're blue. If not, just look on your, just look on your manufacturers. Look at the manufacturing details, or find out in the PC through control panel or your whatever. So these will work on the PC providing you have a 3.0 USB. They will not work otherwise. So if you have Intel through and through, you can probably get away with it. If you have a USB 3.0, which a lot of PCs are beginning to have, you're good to go regardless of your chipset. Now the second quirk, that was really the main quirk about these, is they did not work for PC, but now they do with 3.0, USB 3.0. However, mine is a bit different. Mine, you'll notice, has this Velcro at the back. This isn't because it's decorative, it's to stop the new wire being damaged. Now, inside of this stick, I have a Cthulhu PCB. Now, the Cthulhu or Cthulhu, however you want to say it, I'm going to call it Cthulhu. The Cthulhu PCB is a fan-made PCB that will, if you get, I'm getting ahead of myself. The Cthulhu PCB is a arcade board, an arcade controller board that is compatible natively with the PS3 and PC and the Macs, PCs, and PS3s. Stumbling over my words here, but it natively works with PCs, Macs, and PS3s. Now, you can get a multi-console version called the Cthulhu MC. Now, I believe this works with, let me have a look. Cthulhu MC. Come on, don't ruin this fucking video. Multi-console, okay. So the multi-console works with a PC, PS3, Mac, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, Xbox Original, and GameCube. About fucking time I found that. So yeah, the multi-console will work with PlayStation 1 through 3, Xbox Original, and GameCube. So I don't really play fighting games on those platforms, so I just stuck with a regular Cthulhu PCB. Very good, very quick, and very easy to install. All I did was rip everything out from the previous installations from the previous PCBs and everything else, and followed the instructions and wired them all back to the Cthulhu. Obviously, this panel is completely worthless and doesn't work now, but I never used Turbo anyway. And Turbo is banned in tournament play, so there's really no need to use it. So that's the arcade stick working on a PC. That applies for pretty much every arcade stick out there. PS3s are on the sketchy side. If you have a USB 3.0, it's completely okay. Or you could just mod it with a Cthulhu. The next thing about fighting games on the PC is, which controller should you use? Well, if you're playing anything like Street Fighter, Skullgirls, you could probably use a keyboard or a normal controller. Arcade stick isn't necessary as such, but be aware that your keyboard could have limitations on how many buttons you can press at the same time. So you will be needing macros, and macros are just in-game, and it's basically multiple punches and kicks at the same button. They're perfectly legal, they're perfectly okay, so if you do have those kind of problems, you will be needing macros. And controllers, they're perfectly fine. You know, people, Fnatic, Wolf Crone, naming just the only pros I can think of in my head right now that use controllers. You know, it's very, very possible to be viable. I use an arcade stick. That's just preference, but I like having all my buttons laid out in front of me and everything's easier, and it's just nicer for me. So basically, what controller you should use comes down to preference and what you're good with. If you suck with a stick, but you're finding limitations with a controller or keyboard, you may want to move to a stick. If you suck with a pad, finding limitations with a pad, try out a keyboard or try out the arcade stick. For PC gamers, the next port of call would be a keyboard, then an arcade stick, because you've already got a keyboard. You don't need to pay $80 for one. So, but usually what I do is, it's all down to preference until you find your tools aren't working for you. So they say a good craftsman never blames their tools. This is true, but at the same time, a good craftsman has his favorite tools, and you find out what your favorite is, you use it. The other thing would be PS3 controllers. PS3 controllers do not natively work on Windows. This is pretty much a general purpose thing, but PS3 controllers need a emulation software that you can find on the internet. Do not use Motion Joy. I repeat, do not use Motion Joy. It sucks dick. Completely. It sucks. It's bad. Do not use Motion Joy. There are a lot of topics on forums telling you what to use, and it's probably what I use. It's a bit harder to install, but overall it works so much better. And that's how you get a PS3 controller to work. Of course, if you use Microsoft controllers, which suck for the D-pad, then it will work right off the bat. I think that's about it to do with controllers. You know, regarding KOF, which is the newest fighting game coming to PC, what do I recommend? Well, I'm obviously going to recommend an arcade stick because I'm biased towards one. And I have very good reasons for recommending one besides my personal bias, but I think that KOF is such a technical game that I just can't see you being viable or having much fun with a keyboard or a controller. Some people may like that, but it's such a technical game that I can't see you having a great time on a keyboard or a controller. it just doesn't click for me. I just cannot see it at all. But like I said, just experiment and try things out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on controllers on the PC market. On the console market, everything is a lot less complicated. You plug and play. You either play a controller or you play a stick. There's nothing else out there to play with except a fight pad, but I also think they suck as well, and they break really easily apparently, or at least they used to. But the PC market's a bit different because hardware's different and all that kind of stuff. But that's usually all the info I've given in this video is pretty much golden, and you'll pretty much get along with following my advice. Of course, with controller selection, as I say before, it's all up to you. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Give the video a like, subscribe, share it around, helps me a ton. And yeah, I hope this has been helpful and informative. Because I know in 2009, when I picked up fighting games again, after many years of not playing them, I know that I was very frustrated because I played with a controller. I didn't think I was good enough with a controller. People kept giving me conflicting reports. Go with a controller, go with an arcade stick. All the pros go with arcade sticks. And I got pressured into buying an arcade stick. I sucked for many months. I was terrible at the game, Street Fighter 4, for many months as soon as I switched to an arcade stick. That eventually went away, and I eventually came to the level I'm at now, where I can do pretty much anything with an arcade stick. It just takes time, but yeah. So anyway, I hope that's been informative and helpful. I'll see y'all later. I'm out.